Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Great. Now the question will be, what do we then do with those who have TVCs, have still not been able to collect their permanent voter cards for no fault of theirs, and these people still abound?
Now, when I went to this is my PVC. When I went to my station to collect, to my polling booth, where I registered to collect my own PVC, I saw stacks of PVCs that were not collected. That cannot be the fault of Inec.
That is on the one hand. There are instances of people who have gone several times to their polling units and have still not been able to pick up their PVCs. What do we do with those group of people? I'll give you an instance. Just yesterday night, I was talking to somebody, a shop owner, a small shop owner, and he said, and I asked him about the conversation. He said, what are you talking about? I have my TVC, I'm going to go to the polling unit on that day, and nobody will tell me in this world that I will not be able to vote. What do you do with that sort of man who's been going to his polling unit at least 4 times and has not been able to collect his PVC? What happens?
I went, yes, thank you, Mokwe. That's a valid question. And I'm sitting here, I will not advocate for any Nigerian under whatever guise to be disenfranchised, deliberately. I want to implore Inec to, expedite the process to ensure, ensuring that every Nigerian that is eligible to vote is eligible to him. If a Nigerian refuses to go out there to collect his PVC, it's a different ballgame. But let me say this, that it took me about 6 to 8 times going to the same place before I was able to collect my PVC together with my wife. So we must, really show clearly that we want to take part in the electoral. We must, continue to go there. And I think that INEC, as I've said, should try as much as possible, in ensuring that people are able to collect their PVC.
Let me come in allow me come in here, because we're trying to look at the issue here. One, initially hiccups getting the PVCs out, then now some are already there. We have some other people that have still not gone to pick up their PVCs. But we're looking at the card reader specifically again, and Chamberlain just tried to quip a quick one. They're asking if you have tried to read yours when that mock took place. Did you follow up the mock trial by INEC on this particular card reader?
Yes, I did. And, hello?
I can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Suleiman. I did, and I can tell you clearly that Inec has done tremendously well, and this is a good step, in the right direction. If you look at Section 58 of our Electoral Act, Section 58 literally, if I just paraphrase it, that nobody should come to any polling unit, to vote, where he or she was not registered. And you can see from the demonstration that have been done, with the card readers, that this card reader was so effective, in telling people with a PVC from different polling units that, please, sorry, this is not the polling unit where you are supposed to vote. Can you see clearly that that device that Inec is bringing to play, bringing to the table, is now, in direct consonance with that provision of our law? And I think that requires some thumbs up from us, from every Nigerian, so that automatically, Section 58 is being brought to play, is being brought to focus, is being brought to scrupulous implementation. So Nigerians should applaud this.
Well,
so any Nigerian that is coming against this card reader, we should see that Nigeria as an enemy of progress.
Well, why you think just that way? For some other people, specifically the PDP, they think otherwise. They think your party has gone ahead to clone some of these cards for the election.
Thank you, Sulaiman. I think it's now important for us to state this clearly. All of us, many people have been speaking from both sides of the mouth. And I think, succinctly put, PDP's philosophy of getting into government is through rigging. PDP knows no other way of getting in, of acquisition of political power except by rigging. So with this card reader that is being put in place, that is being proposed to add some credibility to our electoral process, you can understand why PDP is not comfortable with it. Because, all the while PDP has perfected ways in which they will use military people, military men, at our collation centers to prevent people from getting in there. Meanwhile, the results have been written in some hotel room somewhere by some people and handed down. Results that bear no direct consonance with the results that came from the various polling units. That has been the modus operandi of PDP since 1999. So it is not surprising that PDP is the one crying loudest, either directly or through proxies, about this use of PVC. So it is laughable. If PDP is accusing APC of cloning cards, you can see they broke into APC data center in Lagos and arrested some people, brutalized some of them, brought them to Abuja, and at the end of the day, they found nothing. And the SSS, the DSS, that did that heinous crime against humanity, against Nigerian people, has not found it necessary to apologize.
I thought the matter was in court, Mr. Fasakin.
Yes.
Is the matter not in court anymore?
Whether in court or not, when you got to a situation that you came, that you were cloning PVC, that was what you came there to do, and you did not see one single PVC that was cloned.
But there was a press conference, and then they showed several PVCs that they said were cloned, and that's why the matter is in court, Mr. Fasakin.
Which PVC were cloned? Where is it?
Did you miss the report?
PVC is cloned. And as a matter of fact, PVCs that were attempted to that were attempted for use with the card readers in Port Harcourt were rejected.
That's a different matter. I mean, doesn't that prove that PVCs can be cloned or have been cloned if they are rejecting? Some of them saying no, this is not Inec's PVC.
No, you see, thank you, Chamberlain. Some of these idiocies we peddle about in Nigeria, it's really unsettling, very befuddling. I mean, this thing, is so mundane. It's just like when an agency of government said they were doing a sting operation on a house member. They went to his house. We know the way sting operations were done abroad, that when you go there and you get the person with the evidence, you arrest him immediately. They didn't do that to Farouk Lawan, and that, it's just the same thing like this.
I mean, you may question the modus operandi and how they went about it,
let me finish this.
Are you also questioning that there are fake PVCs out there?
Data center. No, let me finish this. Let me finish this. Sorry, let me finish this. You said you went to APC data center and you got some PVCs that were cloned, and you could not get those PVCs and display them like the way Marilyn Oga has always done. Do you think that if there were really cloned PVCs, that Marilyn Oga, the spokesperson of DSS, would not have faced cameras, called journalists in a press conference to say, hey, see, These are the PVCs that we got from APC that were cloned. Do you think that would not have happened?
Well, the PDP is still accusing you. Just yesterday, I think the deputy national chairman said that perhaps there was proof now that the report of the DSS was correct because some cards were actually cloned, and they believe your party must have cloned it.
You know, it is not commonly said that you can call a dog a bad name in order to hang it. You know, PDP have brought in too many shenanigans, you know, to scuttle this election. But I know that by the special grace of God and the will of Nigerian people, that will not happen. You know, this election will go on, you know, and a winner, a credible winner, who shall be declared by the grace of God. I believe that. You know, so it doesn't matter.
Let's wind down on this one. Let's get your response finally before we wrap this up. With respect to PVC identification, the card readers, I think they got, maybe that's what they said, they got almost above 90%. But when it has to do with fingerprint authentication, Inec did say, look, overall, in the document you have here, 59% of voters who turned out for the demonstration had their fingerprints successfully authenticated. So 59%, is that a good one for you?
Yeah, Chamberlain, that is very nice. You see, that is the essence of mock, you know, this mock test. That is now to say that Inec would now have to go back and do more of voter education, you know, to sensitize our people about what to do. Like, you know, in the northern part where you have women having marks on their bodies and all those things, you know, they may now tell them that, look, you may have to remove that mark so that the card reader can be able to identify. I mean, you know that even the greatest of a fingerprint examiner or something, you know, even the most sophisticated, that if you put a glove on your hand, it will not read your fingerprint, you know. So that is to show that used as mark or whatever, either paint or whatever or anything, top and time, should be removed, you know, and ensure that that finger is free, you know, for it. I mean, you know, in some instances, they said the fingerprint, I mean, the card reader read fingerprint, you know, within 1 second, within 2 seconds, within 3 seconds. That,
all right,
you know,
that's where we have to let it go. Thank you. Thank you very much indeed for speaking with us today, Mr. Rotimi Fasakin, a member of the APC, speaking to us from our studios in Abuja on Inec's mock accreditation. We'll be back after the break. Don't go away.